He took notes of events sequentially, beat for beat, and he still gets the order wrong.
Because I'm trying to produce a show here. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Volume 1, the anime and manga podcast, where we review the first volume of a brand new manga each week. My name is Josh Shadow Play Michaels, and today, okay.
My name's Megan Slippery.
I'm joined by
Cody the Hedgehog Decker. Shadow.
We might be down a host today, but we're here. Megan, are you okay?
She tried doing something at the last minute.
That was crazy.
I got an indent.
What a way to start an episode.
Honestly, I'm very professional.
Today we're going to be reviewing Volume 1 of Shadow House, or Shadow's House, depending on, where you either watched this or read this. But it's by the same mangaka from Kuro, which is a series that we've reviewed previously on this channel. And if you want to see that Volume 1, you can click somewhere up here if you're watching on YouTube.
Because it is one of my favorite manga.
It's truly...
And it does not get as much love as I would like it to.
It's truly a fantastic manga, and I have some thoughts on it specifically compared to this series.
Yeah. One of you guys told me this was the same artist who did this. Art style-wise, very believable.
Yeah.
But I forgot that while reading it. But I was like, oh yeah, this is like the same character design.
Yeah, a couple interesting things about this series is the art style identical, and at least the scanlation that I was reading, because again, it hasn't been officially translated into English yet for some odd reason, even though there is an anime out, but
Very odd.
But it was all in color too, which was a very nice change of pace.
Very nice. Very beautiful.
And the colors were very beautiful.
Oh, we don't get that often. I was like, oh, this shit's good. And then compared to I'm watching the anime right now, so it's it's almost identical with the color and the feel.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, having read this, I don't know why this got an anime and Kuro still has not.
I absolutely 100% agree with you. And the the production company that's doing the anime is Cloverworks, which Cloverworks is on my shit list, I gotta be honest with you.
Ooh, why?
Because they are the people behind The Promised Neverland Season 2.
Oh.
Okay, well, you're salty. I know the manga readers are salty. Being an anime-only watcher...
They ruined one of my favorite mangas.
I wasn't as salty because I just went into it only watching the anime, and I was like, I guess this is my reality, but it's not your reality. It's not your okay.
If only.
If only anime watcher. I mean, that's kind of a plus of anime watcher. You don't get this shit.
Yeah, the less you know about things, the less you'll be disappointed.
That is my motto, Cody.
What a fantastic way to live your life.
I love it.
They've also, though, to give them their credit where credit's due, they've also animated Darling in the Franxx, Bunny Girl Senpai, Horimiya. So they
all great series.
Yeah, I mean they're the GOAT.
They are the GOAT except for that, but
except for The Promised Neverland. But yeah, I have a lot to say about this as its own series, Shadow or Shadow's House, because the anime is called Shadow's House. But I don't want to spend the entire episode comparing it to this mangaka's previous work, but I did find myself going back to Kuro.
Did you read more of it?
I didn't read more of it, but I went back, just to kind of compare the art style and some other things. And I don't know if I should say this right here and right now, but I prefer Kuro.
Wow.
Absolutely. It was just Kuro was better at hinting at things and progressing the story more. And I kept reading this all right, and now we're going to get the thing to make me be like, what's going on?
As someone who read more of the manga than just Volume 1, and I'm watching the anime, I do say that I am very intrigued, and I have no idea where this is going to go, why they're there, what the fuck is going on, and it is a bigger... It's a bigger picture. I did like Kuro a lot, and I did find myself being like, oh, this is I like the characters.
Well, how far did you get in Kuro?
I don't remember if that was when we were reading the entire first volume.
No, I don't even think we were doing that.
I read more though. I think I read more than the first volume.
I think you maybe got up to volume 2.
Yeah.
I think I
even
for sure
3.
read at least volume 1, but I could be wrong.
Mm.
Real quick, if you
could.
yeah, I could very easily be wrong. Real quick, too, if you don't know what Shadow House is about, I pulled up the synopsis real quick. I'm going to skip anything if it's too spoilery, but it's just about a faceless shadow noble family living in a vast mansion attended by living dolls who spend much of their time cleaning up the soot endlessly emanated by their mysterious masters. Follow the story of Emilico, a young and cheerful living doll, as she learns her duties serving as the attendant for Kate Shadow Sama.
And I am a sucker for dolls.
It's a girl in a house with a shadow person.
Yes.
So many similarities to Kuro.
Like this author loves little girls in mansions with a shadow being.
Frilly dresses.
Wow, yeah.
I like Rosen Maiden. I don't know who fucking Rosen Maiden. The Rosen Maiden's very niche. I don't know a lot of people that fucking know about it. It's very doll-esque Victorian. All their dresses are very cute, and I'm a sucker for that shit. So when I saw this, I was like, "Oh, this is great."
I think I know what you're talking about. And look, I'm a sucker for. I do appreciate a good Victorian era story.
Yes.
And I would even say there's a little steampunk, in here a little bit when we get to see them cleaning, and specifically some of their the masks that they wear are those like those bird.
Plague Doctor
masks.
That's still just Victorian. Steampunk would have to have steam.
Well, what about the little thing that blows the soot off of her? All the gadgets and gizmos. Those are steampunk.
Is it like a steam powered like sci-fi technology?
Yes, and it has gears.
It is a fan room.
Steampunk is just rusty gears. Okay,
that is not at all what's
upset all of the audience.
They specifically aren't rusty because they use copper, which does not rust. So it is. You are so beyond being wrong right now. And because I love a good steampunk story.
There's an anime called Steampunk. I liked. Is the one episode of that I saw?
Oh, you didn't watch it? Okay.
Yeah, but it is, people seem to really like that.
I could think while reading this is this seemed like a lesser form of Kuro.
I gotta agree with Cody on this one, which is rare.
Yeah, I don't understand at all why this has an anime adaptation and Kuro is just gonna.
I understand why it got an anime adaptation.
Why?
And I just think it's because it's more
cast
visually interesting, whereas I think Kuro was more narratively interesting. I think this something about these, silhouetted people in this Victorian sort of setting pops more, I think, for an animated series than maybe a bunch of dark colors. This sort of grim fairy tale of this girl in a mansion with her cat.
Even then, I mean, you see slice of life animated all the time, which Kuro kind of is in the beginning, and then it kind of gets more in depth. But like, it's essentially the same thing. Maybe because it is a bigger cast, like Cody said. There's more characters that you get introduced to. Their relationships. It's not just a girl and her cat. So maybe, but lesser. I wouldn't say lesser.
Well, you've read ahead, and I do, I'm going to defer to you a lot during this episode because I don't, obviously we're not going to spoil too much, and we will give a spoiler mark when we do get to the spoilery parts of Volume 1, but I do want to kind of know a little bit of what happens later on because I can't say that I'm, super excited to continue reading this series.
And I'm not, this isn't bad, but normally I was like, I don't want to compare it. But it is like, it's such a similar story where there are so many specific details that are the same. It is just like, if I wanted, like, Kuro got me like hooked almost immediately. And I love the story. And I'm reading this, I'm just like, yeah, Kuro just did it better.
Mm-hmm. I have to agree. And I'm a sucker for a cute animal sidekick. Like, Pochita in Chainsaw Man. Here we have, or in Kuro, we have Kuro, who's this adorable black cat with a monster mouth and 3 eyes or multiple eyes. I mean, in this, I find, Emilico, I find her character cute. And,
she's so cute.
I almost
fucking protect her with all costs.
And look, I will say that there are parts of the series that I do really like and that are extremely intriguing. This series I would compare to maybe being fed story through like an IV drip is sort of what it feels like. And although this Emilico is very cute, she's almost like annoyingly cute at times. She was just born. She has no idea what
she has to, I mean, she does. It's like, okay, you just obey your shadow master, and she knows some. She's like learning along the way. Master.
More music.
Master.
More music.
That was
Master,
good.
the puppets are pulling the strings.
That was good.
She is a puppet.
Oh, I mean, I guess. Yeah, give yourselves a round of applause.
He doesn't appreciate music.
I'm surprised by how little music you know.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking.
I've made it this far.
If it's not a card trick, it's just in one ear, out the other.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
But she's so cute, and she is like a newborn person.
Doll? Yeah.
She's a doll, so she's like,
living dolls.
oh, I'm just gonna do this, and I know nothing of the outside world, and she is so untainted by the situation. Whereas when you meet some other dolls along the way, you can see, you know, they're not as upbeat and are going through some shit, and that's all I'll say.
Yeah.
But with her, she's just so, and her master too, that plays a part in it. Yeah, that's all I'll say for right now. But.
Yeah, I mean, you know, on its surface, it's a story, and the first episode of the anime. By the way, I think as of recording this, there are only 2 episodes out. I only saw the first one because that's all that was out when I was able to watch it, and you know, the first episode covers the first 6 chapters of Volume 1. The first episode crams half of the first volume, you know, pretty well into one episode. But that's because Volume
it's
1
mostly her doing a cleaning thing and being like, and
Did
now
I dig
time to clean tomorrow.
Yeah, that's mainly what it is in the first episode, and then that's why I had to keep reading, because I was like, I know this is not all this story has to offer. I know this is not going to be the whole story of her just cleaning her fucking room, and it got delivered to me in a pretty package, suit covered package.
I mean, I want to know what parts of the story you really connected with outside of her just being super cute, because, and you know what, the mystery too, again, there's mystery in Kuro, but the mystery was like more enticing, I feel like.
Yeah, the way the breadcrumbs were laid was much more of a like I cared, and in this one I'm just like, the mystery for me is like, wait, so are they actually dolls, or are they just people who were told they were dolls?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was about the way I was fed the information in Kuro that made me feel like I was the main character in a lot of ways, because I knew what she knew. I didn't really know much, and I don't really know, you know, more than Emilico knows either, but I don't know. I just like, it's not as pressing for me to figure out what's going on.
And it opens with a lot of it is a slice of life thing of like, and then soot rose and now she's got to clean the fan.
Yeah.
Like, okay, but now next chapter is where we're going to figure out. And then it's like, oh no, she broke the thing. Like, ooh, and now we're going to, oh, okay, no, they're just.
See?
And then the next chapter of that is like, oh, there's this thing. Like, oh, is she going to. Okay, no, she just had to sweep it up. As
a truest of the SOL genre, I don't give a fuck what they're doing. Like,
wow.
They could just be doing that, and I'll be like, okay. Oh, it has a story too with some mystery that I don't know about yet. I'm down.
Okay, but SOL, which could mean slice of life or shit out of luck. SOL.
Wrong
involves
episode.
L, and there's not a lot of L in this. They're in a room for the first
and then
8 chapters.
And then it gets better.
It gets better in the sense where I'm like, oh, there's actually something going on here.
Yes.
But like by volume 1, I feel like I should have been like invested in the thing.
I was sold off of the cuteness.
Yeah, and it is very cute.
It is very
this
cute.
This author can do cute girls. She can do cute like children behaviors and thoughts, and and that's all very well. All that is well done
in a very wholesome way too.
Yeah,
yes.
And it's but I can't not compare it to how Kuro just does.
Yeah,
it better.
dude. Yeah. I mean, even the main character from Kuro and the main character from Shawdow look the same except with blonde and black hair. Yeah, I think they even both have like a similar pigtail hairstyle too.
Yeah. Okay. Kuro, she has shorter black pigtails, and Miliko has long blonde hair with little pigtails. Very clear difference.
Right. That's completely
She has 2 bows, where she only has 1 bow. So.
Oh, you're right. Completely different.
Yeah, I retract everything I just said.
Great. Okay, moving on. That's all I wanted to hear.
No, but I really do want to know, like, and not, I'm not being shitty. I do want to know.
You are being shitty.
Okay, a little
You're
bit.
being sooty.
I I like it. I want to know what you really liked about this series. Like, what was it, other than the cuteness, other than the slice of lifestyle that it had in the beginning of Volume 1? What were some of the other elements that you really enjoyed?
I just like a story. Like I said, I think in the Kuro episode, like I love a story that has a front. Like, oh, these cute girls doing cute stuff, a living doll, and she helps her out, and their wholesome relationship and their friendship, and I just know, like, some shit's gonna hit the fan, that they're there for a reason. I know she's not there just to wait on her. You find out later, and it's just like, I have no idea what's gonna happen, and I'm so excited to find out. Like, the other characters, too, like, they're all, like, separate individuals. And it's like, when is that going to affect how they live?
Yeah.
And I'm just, I don't know. I really do enjoy this manga a lot.
And I get it too.
And it's in color.
And it's in color.
And here's what then frustrates me is if you like this, why didn't you get super excited for Kuro and read more of that?
I don't know.
Because now you're telling me
maybe
what I was just told is you like this more than Kuro.
Maybe because Kuro, maybe it did take a little longer to get into the meat of the bones than this.
I completely
absolutely
disagree.
did not.
Because
I'm thinking
you guys
a lot of
did
it is I recommended it.
You guys know.
Well, that's definitely a part of it for me, but I got over that.
No.
And it was hard.
And I appreciate that. And
Cody,
I think
that's
somewhat.
not true. You introduced us to Chainsaw Man. How could you ever say that?
But everybody gets one. Every dog has their day.
every dog gets their bone.
No, but I'm serious.
Every
like,
dog turns into a chainsaw.
I really did like Kuro. Maybe the anime is just hyping me up a bit. I feel like if Kuro had a fucking anime, I'd be like,
because again, the anime is beautiful,
and you know the opening of Kuro will be great, where like the cat's doing shit, and then she's just walking, all being all goofy.
I love it.
I'm not shitting on Kuro. I love Kuro.
Well, I just know you like this.
But I think I might. This is a Kuro, and then this is like Shadow's.
Whoa! I did not think that was gonna upset me, but it did. I really was like, yeah, okay, it's fine. I'm over.
Well, again, you've read all of it. And I've only read some of it, and you've only read some of this, and I've read more than you have.
Yeah, but
so
his
it's the same argument.
is that you chose to read more
so
of this.
you're telling me that my opinion is wrong.
That's not.
You're saying that Kuro is better and Shadow's House is worse.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, and
then my opinion is valid.
Sure. Hey, everybody. Yeah,
but
I'm sorry.
No one invalidated your opinion. It's just I think
he's gaslighting me. He's gaslighting me.
You're saying that like this cuts into the meat of the story faster than Kuro did, and it absolutely did not.
Maybe it was more enticing. Maybe it was more enticing for me. I don't know. I'm a sucker. I already said it. I'm a sucker for Victorian style dresses. I'm a sucker for the whole shtick. Okay, I like a girl and her cat, sure, but
you like it when the girl is the cat.
Maybe.
I mean, that does feel like Shadow House.
It's
it's
not
the role.
Same,
the shadow
though.
creatures. The roles are reversed.
Because you have two.
Wow. Yeah.
It is wild.
You have two characters that are actually talking. Where Kuro, he doesn't talk. He's just walking around and doing shit. It is different. It is different.
Kuro funnier.
Okay, funnier, sure. We're not talking about this. This is a funny
the first
series.
ever Michaels Decker
team up.
Yeah, I guess so. I feel fucking attacked.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You should be.
Let me show you some previous episodes where I was getting ganged up on by
that was
two.
the greatest paladin or whatever the fuck it was.
It's called the Faraway Paladin. And you've never been more far away from having a good opinion than in this episode.
Oh, whoa.
See, I want to be on his side. But I did deeply dislike Faraway Paladin. But that's not what this episode's about.
It's not about
Megan,
that.
You have great taste, and you do. But I'm just saying, let me relish in this, okay?
I will let you relish. I'll let you mustard. I'll let you do whatever you need to do.
Let me just stew in this. And let me sit in it.
I thought you were going with hot dog references. Now you're going to stew.
If it's food, I'm down. Because I don't really ever. It's rare that I have someone backing me up. It's either we all agree or
it gives you power. I know it gives you power.
Or you two team up against old, Joshy.
Which almost happened as soon as she brought
boy.
up Faraway Paladin.
Wow, okay. Men against the woman, I guess. Classic
case.
case.
Okay, yeah.
Comment and like if you agree.
Where my dog's at,
Wow.
Yeah.
Me made my point.
I was that's just, I really I want to not constantly compare these two, but they're so similar that they're kind of just different versions of the story.
Yeah.
But what I getting at is the way that they built up the mystery of Kuro hooked me more. I feel like this was more slice of life, which I just don't like slice of life. I feel like this leaned more into slice of life, where Kuro leaned more into mystery.
See, I'll disagree with you there a little bit. I do believe that definitely the first half of the volume 1 was a lot of slice of life, but it did, reveal some of its secrets.
I said lean, not that
okay.
it is.
No, no.
We are having the most minor argument here
You're
about.
right. I gotta remind myself of that.
This is more slice of life. Kuro was more supernatural mystery.
It was a lot of more trickling into what is actually happening versus Shawdow's house, where they're actually telling you like they're actually upfront saying like, we live in this house, you obey this person, you're supposed to clean this, clean that, and do all the shit you need to do.
Yeah. So when all I knew about this author is they were able to do that, which I haven't really seen that kind of mystery the way Kuro was done. So I love that. So I went in hoping for that to happen, but it was more of a playful story with darker undertones the more you go. More shadowy.
Whereas this, it's like, we're going to show you the cuteness up front, and then it's possibly going to get dark like Shawdow.
I mean, you've read more, and I do have questions. I don't even think, it's worth necessarily going through chronologically, because basically
we're gonna stop comparing it to Kuro. If I bring up Kuro again, you can just cut me off. It's fine.
Can I slap you?
You can.
Yeah. That'd be pretty fucking cool.
I like that.
I don't want to spend too much time comparing it to Kuro either, although it does feel a little more warranted because it's by the same exact person. It's different to compare Hell's Paradise to Chainsaw Man because they worked on a manga together, but they're two different people. This is the same person, so it does feel a little bit, more justified to compare their works.
They love this type of story, and I don't think Shawdow House is bad. It's just when I have this direct work that they did that I just think is so much better, that is so similar in all these themes, and I'm like, all I can think is well, I like that.
I mean, clearly they did something. It's very similar, but clearly they did something that got the attention of an anime studio.
Yeah,
to back it. So.
And we want to do an investigation is what makes this more animeable and mainstreamable than something like Curolable.
I mean, I can't. I would think that Kuro would be an adorable sort of property that an anime studio would want to own. All the Pochita merch that's about to drop, I mean, they'd be out of their mind to not want some Kuro plushes or sticker, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And what do you got to do for design?
It's so easy too. But you're right. Let's not talk about Kuro too much.
We'll just go at it on its own merit now.
But I think the first couple chapters, the first 6 to 7 chapters are basically, and I don't even want to call it the same exact thing over and over because it does have a lot of wholesome, cute moments. But it is a lot of, you realize that Emilico, which is a very strange name, and I think it's a combination of names.
Emilio and Kuro.
Emilio.
Emilico. It's even hard to say.
What's that from?
It's he's from the Mighty Ducks. Yeah, but I think it's from Night at the Roxbury. No.
I asked you.
No, it's in a movie where he's like, Emilio! He's like, the guy from the Mighty Ducks. It's from Mighty Ducks, but it's from a movie that they're calling Emilio. Comment if you know. I don't know.
Mrs. Doubtfire?
No.
I highly doubt it. Yeah.
Oh, just wait till you're wrong.
It's not.
I've never been wrong.
No, that's Hello, Dee That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, welcome back to the movie reference podcast.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry, John.
Everybody's favorite type of humor, where you just quote movies instead of actually saying something funny.
You just don't get it.
I'm sorry, you were just watching magic tricks.
And it got me pretty far. I just think, right, that there is a lot of
yes.
sometimes, right.
Right.
That there are a lot of cute things that happen, but basically what it is Emilico was created to basically clean up after Kate-sama, who is a soot, not even monster. We don't even know if they're human or not. They look very human. They have the silhouettes.
She asked at one point, "Are you human?" And she goes, "Like, stop asking so many questions." And I was like, oh.
I don't think. Yeah. I mean, you at least had to have made some sort of pact with a demon to emit soot from you. That's not like she's something. She ain't human, but she's something.
Something's awry.
Yeah, so she wakes up every morning with soot everywhere, all covered over her room, and that's why they have living dolls to clean up after the soot.
Because that would build up real fast.
Real fast. I mean, they show it later. She's like, I wake up, everything's dirty, and she has this little breakdown. She's like, dirty, and then she's like, I'm here to clean. I'm like,
that's what I really did like, and they do a pretty good job of showing it in the manga too, but I really like that in the anime because it shows... It's just easier to see how every little thing she touches and brushes past, and anything she's near just gets covered in soot. And then if they get stressed or anxious or angry, then they start, it starts pluming out of their head or whatever. But, it's so much easier to see how fast things would get dirty in the anime. It's just shown a little clearer. I don't know if this bothered you guys at all either, but because there's no official English translation and because it is a mystery story, I was having a hard time, with the translation that I found, like following exactly what was happening at times. Maybe I'm just dumb. You guys are taking a long time.
We should move on.
We should.
But
don't ask too many questions.
Did you guys hear what I said?
Question time is over.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll bring it up next question time,
which will be in 2 hours.
I didn't have that issue. I didn't
not
really
at
know.
all. No.
Okay. Well,
I wish I could agree with you on this one.
Hey, I get it. I'm an idiot.
Like what parts? Like what?
Yeah. What are you talking about, man?
I just think that for me, it was. And again, because I have the anime to compare it to, I guess I get the gist of it, but I always feel like I was missing something because it's so important in a mystery story. I'm hanging on every word. Every word's important. And when some of the conjugation of things is getting messed up, I'm thinking, what else is getting messed up? Can I even trust that Kate-sama is, asking for giving good bread to Emilico? I don't even know if what I'm reading is true. And so I think there was a line specifically where she's like, you are my
face.
But she didn't say face. She said, you are my personality. I think you are my something in the very beginning. I mean, maybe I just read a really bad translation.
Sounds like it because and if the only thing I'm like, they're either dolls or they're people who are raised to believe they're dolls. But then the dolls are always like very clearly like at least body type and silhouette. They look like the shadow person.
Exactly like them.
Exactly like.
So
them.
if they're dolls and it's like I'm getting bits of the story, but it would seem like they would specifically be assigned dolls that look like them.
Well,
because if you were a vampire and you couldn't see your reflection,
you'd
be like, "What? Just have a guy who like looks like me." And then have him mess up his hair, and I'd be like, okay, no. I look bad with my
that's
hair
not
like
how
that.
you would do it. I thought you were going to say you hire a person to help you look better since you can't see your reflection. Why on earth would you hire someone that looks like you and say,
to be your mirror?
Mess up your hair?
My living mirror.
Yeah, your living mirror. Yeah. I mean, I guess I get it because
we're gonna say that's a wacky bad idea when we're talking about.
I'm sorry. It's relation just so much easier to be I'm hiring you to make me always look good.
Yeah, but I think what Cody's saying is like, why wouldn't if you don't think you could pull off, let's say Crocs, right? You're like,
who doesn't pull off Crocs? Come on.
I mean, yeah, right. I mean, Crocs are
they rock.
They rock.
Crocs rock. Yeah, if you have someone that looks like exactly like you, then you could throw Crocs on them and be like. You're right. I don't look good in those. I think that's what
that's what I'm getting at.
More, yes.
Yeah.
And you would have them like stand like in front of a hollowed out mirror.
Oh yeah.
And then they would like stand there, and you'd be like, so like,
yeah.
You tell them like, why don't you grow a mustache? You'd be like, nah. And you just train them to do that improv mirroring thing.
Yeah.
Where you go.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you'll start doing more inappropriate things with your hands, and then see if they do.
And then the instructor tells you to leave.
Well, I mean, they would be me, so why would they not?
Did you go to improv class?
No, never.
Okay, I took a theater class.
Gross.
in college, and it was very gross.
I wanted to go to improv at UCB, but I never did it.
And now
And I
the
think
world
you're better
is
for
over.
it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're, ultimately more funny.
Yeah.
Really?
Because of that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
So, okay.
I love her.
You read ahead a little bit more.
She's
I
great.
did.
She's,
I read up until probably midway through volume 3.
I think
So some shit goes down.
And look, super, all the, I guess, quote unquote, bad things I've said so far about this series, all that said, there are really, really cute moments, and the moments really, really work. And the curiouser and curiouser thing is that, yeah, these living dolls look exactly like their silhouettes, especially the ones we meet later on. It's very easy to see that down to, not just the hairstyle and the clothes, but down to the proportions, everything about them is exactly the same as their opposite, their doll, their shadow.
Mm-hmm.
So
And the way the
is
story is,
interesting.
the shadow comes first.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not following.
So and I think, outside of the cleaning, we find out that obviously that they're living in a huge mansion on a huge estate that's way bigger, and Emilico gets to go out very briefly towards the end of the first volume, and she gets to go help, clean
The other living dolls.
Right.
Yeah.
What I would consider possibly a spoiler is really the last 2 chapters where we get to see a specific interaction between
That's when it got more interesting.
Yeah, that shit was that
But,
in the
yeah.
anime too. I was like,
Well, yeah, I mean, even in the anime, they do mix some things up and
Mhm.
change the order of things.
yeah, I've noticed that a little bit, and things they don't even really talk about, things that are kind of thrown away, which is kind of a bummer. But it just makes sense for the order of the story, some just little things here and there, but it's not that big
Yeah,
of a
because the
deal.
entirety of the first episode of the anime is her getting the name Emilico. That's
a big moment.
It's a big moment. She already has that name in the very beginning.
She goes,
in
"I'm
chapter
Emily."
1.
Yeah.
But her journey throughout episode 1 is getting that name, and then she meets another living doll at the very end of the episode. But it's not the first living doll that she meets in the manga.
No, well, she doesn't necessarily meet them, but I
Right.
also love her.
Right.
Obviously, she's totally my type of character. She's so cute and feisty and shark toothy. Obviously,
She
I
does
love
look the
her.
most, interesting because she's not just cute like every other living doll we've met at this point.
Adorable,
Yeah.
perfect, and she's like,
She's got a little toot. She's got a little depth.
yeah,
Is
she
this
got
an
a little
anime only character?
No.
No.
You see her when she opens the window and she waves at her, and then she
Oh,
looks
and,
over and she's like,
Oh, the green hair.
Mhm.
Yeah. So before we get into any sort of spoiler territory, what else do you think is worth talking about that can be considered spoiler free? Is there anything?
I did think it was nice that their relationship was not.
master servant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was nice how the shadow girl would be I got a little heated. My bad.
Yeah.
I mean, she does beat the shit out of her twice, though.
She doesn't.
No, she does not.
She slaps her in the first or second chapter.
No.
Yeah, she does.
No.
And then she apologizes for it. Maybe I read the wrong.
She does never. She never
no.
puts a hand on her.
Yes, she does.
She smacks something
Yeah, she smacks something out of her way because she's
She
upset.
smacks her in the face.
Are you making this up?
That's how I read it, and I'm pretty
What?
sure. And I'll go back after this episode, and I'll
If you
fact check myself.
If you can find that,
if you can find it, here it is, and you were right. Otherwise, and then and then if I'm wrong, here's me being an idiot talking about how I think you're completely wrong.
Either way, we can agree that she at least, and I still think I'm right, but either way, we can agree that she did, raise
She
her
is
voice.
prone
and she
to
slapped
violent
something-
outbursts. But she then goes, that was on me.
Yes. Right.
My bad. You want to, and the angriest, the first time she gets angry, that was after she got incredibly friendly,
yeah.
and it directly led to her not doing her job. So it was I think it was a thing of they told me not to do this, and look what happened.
Mm-hmm. And Emilico did fix her doll that she
Mhm.
fucked up, and I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, because she's literally only living for her. That's what she goes to sleep at night, and then she wakes up, and this is all she's doing. That's all she's been doing, except for when she goes out. But they're so cute, and they have such a cute relationship, and she gives her a little makeover, and it's just like so wholesome.
It is very wholesome.
And then she's like, I'm gonna give you a makeover.
Yeah, and she's like, no, and then she's like, I want to play with my doll, like duh. And she was like, okay.
Yeah, because it is the relationship is a master servant. That's what Emilico exists for. Mm-hmm. And it is interesting seeing the Shadow Girl, who I do not know her name,
Kate Sama.
Kate Sama. She, you see how she's like playing with her authority, where she is like, cause like this is a thing that friends would do. Is like, I'm gonna give you a makeover, and Emilico's like, I don't know if you should. Just like, I'm ordering you to do this because this is your role here. The end result being like, now we can play essentially, and then it's like, you need to eat this bread because you're not eating. Like, I don't deserve to eat this bread. I'm ordering as your master, and your role here is to...
But it's more than that, I think, and it does allude to the bigger picture. It's more than just I'm your master. It's, in both cases, the makeup case is her saying, you're my doll, I'm playing with my doll. But in the bread case, it's, you're my living mirror. If you don't want to eat the bread, then I want to watch myself eat the bread.
Yeah.
So it's not like, eat it because I'm telling you to. It's these very...
Well, that's what I was saying, is she's playing with her authority.
Right.
I wasn't saying she is directly ordering her to do these things.
You thought she slapped her, but...
You win. It's deeper than that. It's what you were saying.
I mean, people know. People watching and listening, they,
I mean, you got a little glimpse, though. You got a little glimpse when they're doing the makeup thing, and, she's like, oh, Kate-sama, like, wouldn't you look good with your makeup? And then she puts it on, she's like, no! And she screams, and then it just, like, disappears. And I was like, I saw skin color.
Well, that was makeup, not skin.
Oh, I guess you're right.
I mean, it was for sure makeup.
Yeah, it was for
She's
sure.
like, I'm not trying to get canceled. And then the makeup,
So dumb.
went right back
so dumb. But just, like, little things like that, like, I don't necessarily... I'm not really caring about, and then when they happen, you're like, oh,
yeah,
what's that all about?
Yeah, no, all those moments really did work. I mean, the bread scene, the makeup, the makeover scene, like all those, I really did get a kick out of those.
And
but
the thing that is building up to it is she's like, yeah, we need to be ready for my reveal.
The debut.
Their debut, yeah.
Debut.
Yeah, and so
Debut.
Yeah,
the final debut.
That's what the it's all building up to, as far as I can tell story-wise.
And we could talk about that.
Which we do get to kind of see a little bit more of what that might mean in the last, I think, 2 chapters, maybe 3. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think we could start talking a little bit about some more spoilery stuff. But Megan, if you want to...
Well, could we talk about spoiler stuff?
Well, I mean, I was thinking maybe before we heard some sort of sound or something, maybe you could kind of tell anybody, if there's any last words you have about maybe you wanting to recommend the series to somebody. This is your last chance before
it's not.
Before we get into some spoiler territory. If only there were a sound.
What should I say? The manga is really cool because it's in color. I could say it again.
That's a huge selling point.
Huge selling point. Very beautiful, mysterious. Love the setting already. The characters that you meet along the way are very cute, obviously. But I would definitely recommend reading the manga if you want like more moments with Kate and Emilico. Like if you want to watch the first episode, cool, and then go back and then see more because they cut some of that stuff out. But overall, like if you like slice of life, mystery, cute girls doing cute shit, I would check it out.
I almost say just watch the anime because they take 6 or 7 short moments and they weave them together into a 2-day period. But if only there were a sound.
How about I give my final thoughts then?
Nah.
Because it's fine. It only hurts my feelings. I feel like, because I know there's that separate community. People watch anime only. Some people don't read manga. If this anime has you interested, just read Kuro.
Oh yeah.
That's.
I would actually 100% agree. I'm sorry I said I didn't want you to give your final thoughts.
No, I know that this is how you talk to me.
Ooh.
And I know this is how you choose to take the things I say when I'm just really trying to...
As you meant them, because you're apologizing for it, so you can't try to josh your way out of that.
Both are great series.
And one is better than the other.
And one, we all agree, one is better than the other.
If this is a democracy, then we all do agree that one is clearly better than the other. But I do wish there was some sort of sound that I was hearing right now. I wish there was something in my ear right now to tell me that
Maybe the shadow of a sound.
Oh, shadow of a doubt.
is a shadow of a sound an echo.
That's actually not bad.
It's not bad.
Actually, I thought that was dumb, but that's actually a thing.
I get it. First reaction, I get it. If it was, if I was anybody else, I'd be like, yeah, he's dumb, and then yeah.
But no, that's actually pretty solid.
Thanks, dude. Thanks, Megan. Okay.
And so now that we're
I was trying to do like a doll, but
Oh, okay.
I like a
wow.
baby doll, like
Right. I was thinking maybe you know how you said debut earlier? I was thinking maybe you were going to try to do something a little more like, aristocratic or something. Like.
It's spoiler time. I always do British though.
But it's almost not even
Oh.
British. It's more like, like I'm a debutante.
Hello, it's spoiler time.
I like it.
ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
spoiler time.
Huh.
Yes. Yeah. Let's talk about a little bit of spoilery things. I really just want to talk about the one scene where we finally do meet the other.
That's when I
Yes.
feel like the story happens.
That's where it
Yes.
starts. Unfortunately, it's at the very end of the first one.
And then we just obviously, I mean, not all shadows are as night as Kate Sama. This girl's a bitch.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
That's where it becomes like, because not Shadow Girl, Doll Girl.
Amiliko falls out the fucking window.
Oh,
Amiliko is the exception to how dolls are supposed to behave.
Exactly.
And-
That's not how they're supposed to be doing it at all.
Kate Sama is the exception for how she treats her doll.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Totally.
I mean, maybe Megan, you know more because you've read farther. But I would at this point disagree in that I think I would assume maybe all living dolls act that way in private, because there is that moment where Amiliko and that doll have a very sweet and wholesome interaction, and then when she's around her shadow partner,
That's because their job is to be the reflection of the shadow person.
Yeah. So that's
They're-
why she mimics all the movements that she's doing
Right,
because
no.
that's her face.
She's doing like, well,
yeah.
Yeah.
and like you're really good at your job when you can tell that like, oh, she's probably mad right now,
yeah.
and that's what these people exist for. The fact that
But-
Amiliko is like being taught how to read and stuff, I'm pretty sure that's not on the list of stuff to do, because that's what the other Shadow Girl is like saying. It's like, you could get in trouble for this.
Yeah, and I like you're saying basically like obviously they're gonna act different like around their worker buddies versus when they be like in public with shadows and stuff. But Amiliko doesn't know that like at all. Like she even what's her name? Kate Sama, like she's never told her like to act a certain way or be a certain way. She's always encouraged her to be her own person, which is like not how she's supposed to be doing it. Obviously like be respectful and you got to be, my face, so you got to be a certain way, but like obviously Mia, which is the doll, like she has been conditioned to like know how she's supposed to act when she meets someone else, versus Amiliko, she's like scared and like hiding behind Kate Sama because she's like, I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, and I don't think that training is going to get less strict as they get older. So
Yeah.
the impression I got from the story is, if these are actually dolls, which I'm under the impression that a reveal will be that they're like kidnapped people or something, because the doll thing doesn't. But also I don't know what magic system is in place here yet. But it is that they exist because it's like, well, people can't see what I look like, so here's this thing who's gonna be like, welcome.
I mean, it clearly is some sort, or at least feels like some form of curse or something.
Yeah, you
but-
get to live in a big mansion, but you're gonna be all sooty. And they're like, that's gonna take forever to clean.
Yeah, and one person was like worth it, and then generations had to pay for that.
Yeah. Kind of sounds like our economy.
Okay.
No.
I'm sort of thinking back to the beginning of, especially the first chapter, because there's this moment where Amiliko and Kate are Emiliko's trying to read Kate's expression, and she's encouraging Kate to turn, towards the window so that she can see her profile, and so she can see her smile. But Kate is sort of, I guess in hindsight, that is what Emiliko's job is. But Kate isn't telling her, like, Kate is more so like, you know, hey, if you can guess it, cool, and if not, no big deal. I guess that would have been a very teachable moment if it was any other maybe Shawdow member.
Yeah, I mean, they go into saying at the end of their conversation, you know, she's just like being a bitch to her, and she's like, you know, you're not good, blah, blah. She goes into saying the people that aren't good, the shadows and the dolls that aren't
League
good,
of Shadows.
they get discarded by the great grandfather. Like,
Right, they
if
did
they're
say
no
that.
use, you're going to be discarded anyway. So I don't really care.
No use get discarded.
That's
That's how that bitch talks.
Yeah, you kind of sounded like I pictured maybe like an Igor when you said it that way.
Yeah.
Igor?
Yeah, from like Frankenstein. You know, like the really like ugly sidekick. Can I just say though? I was gonna move on, but you look hurt. You look all right.
Shut up. Let's move on.
Oh, you're fine. I as a shadow having a living doll follow me around and mimic my every movement, it would just seem like someone's mocking me, and it would feel like someone's making fun of me every time I would do that. If someone's just like copying, that's what you do to bully people. That's what you do to annoy people. I guess
When they
it serves
can't
a
see
function
their
and a
face,
purpose,
when
but
you
yeah.
can't see their face.
Yeah, it's almost like if you hired someone to like follow you around, so you could be like, "Is that what I look like?"
Yeah.
Like maybe if you were like some sort of undead.
Yeah,
being.
maybe if you like hired someone to like look exactly like you and like mess up your hair, and you're like, "Is my hair messed up now? What's going on?"
I'll bet that's what twins do.
Now, and then let's talk about this. Is actually I would appreciate, because that's how I learned a lot of how to not behave, by watching people who were of my type be a little too loud in public and be like, I have to not be like that. So if I had someone that was just like, this is you, I'd be like, all right, well, I'm gonna
tone it down.
That's a good point.
All right, no one has to know I watch anime.
Oh,
No one has to.
Wow. Jab to the heart.
Well, that's a real life thing, because for some people
To the
watching
old
it is
Kokoro, huh?
for some people watching anime is cute. For other people, it makes you a weirdo.
Isn't that peculiar? Yeah.
So a lesson I learned as a child. I'm sure it's better now, but like it
is definitely better.
It
now.
was a
It's
thing of like
definitely
what,
better.
but for guys of my type, it is a thing of like you can go ahead and not
type.
talk about that.
Yeah, it hasn't reached, Marvel levels yet, but we're making some progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been almost like 10 years since I graduated, so I'm sure society has moved on to, I guess, shit talking.
Come on, Cody, you got it.
I really don't. I don't know. Game of Thrones. I didn't watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Look, I even though that is where the story picked up and got more interesting, and all of a sudden we're let in on the dynamic between the Shadow family members and the living dolls, in that they have to mimic them in every facial expression, every movement. They're responsible for depicting that to other people, because as Kate Sama says earlier in the volume, it's hard to tell them apart other than their clothing, possibly, even though their silhouettes, by definition, a good character design should you should be able to recognize it just from its silhouette. But so they do look extremely different. But the point is, they're supposed to be the representation of their feelings, their emotions, their body language. And so we're let in on that at this point, and it is like, I kind of knew that's what was happening. It's not even like and again, I don't mean to say nothing but negative things about this series, because there was a lot that I liked, but it's like when even that is revealed, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what we've been told is happening this whole time. Like, yeah,
but to now know, I mean, to be shown like the repercussions of what could happen because they're not doing what they're supposed to do, it's interesting as well. And to see like other dolls not being as great of dolls, you find out this other character, I don't know her name, she has the really short hair and she's very like scared and like skittish and stuff. I think you see her maybe like once in the first volume, but like her, she's not a good doll, and you find out later why. But like, all of these characters are getting backgrounds, and like I want to see more, and I want to see who passes the because I'm like right there. I'm not done with the what is it called? The review? What is it? Reveal?
Review.
Oh, you haven't got the big reveal yet.
Or no, because this is building
what
up
is it
to
called? The
debut.
They debut.
Oh, the
I'm in the
debut.
middle of the
wow.
debut, and they have to go through like a task, and they're going through like they're being judged by a person who's judging them, and there's like a group of them, and this is where they're supposed to show like if they're a good match and if they can mimic them and like do what they're supposed to do, and then they're like taking on like a type of like quest almost, and it's pretty cool, and I'm excited to see who gets in or not. I mean, I'm sure there's no way that she wouldn't get debut. Maybe I don't know.
So they're sort of auditioning to see if they're let into an upper echelon.
Yeah,
of this.
to move to a different house, and there's like you'll see later. I mean, I don't know if this is a spoiler. Should I
I
spoil
mean,
it?
this is definitely spoilers, but you've already gone.
I mean, I haven't said anything about it.
I mean, you haven't given any specifics.
No, I won't.
necessarily,
But it's pretty interesting. You see some other characters.
I have to again say, because I don't want people coming for me in the comments. I have to again say there was a lot of this that I really, really did enjoy. It is cute. It is adorable. And the wholesome moments really worked. But even you explaining all of what you just explained, still, I think to myself,
Yeah.
couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, oh, it's like, so it is kind of like that. That's what the story becomes. I was like, I believe I could watch it passively, but that doesn't sound like something that would hook me.
And
I'm going in. One of my favorite mangas of all time is an art, but was another thing that this person has done. It's just it's just not hitting all of the notes their other one did for me.
That is what it is, bro.
it is what it is.
Now
bruh.
let's just hit some notes here real quick, which
this
is
don't read
Megan's notebook corner.
yeah.
new
Megan,
Oh wait, this might be
apparently.
spoilers.
the eating shit.
Someone eats shit later in this manga.
Oh, that's when she fell out the window.
Oh.
I was like, holy shit,
Yeah, it's crazy that I didn't,
she ate
Know what
shit.
that
Because
meant.
that reminded me, because like they can like mold their soot into things. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, did she confuse like a molded up thing with an actual turd that the
And now that you say that, we do get like, I guess, more hints about the different types of soot, because apparently there is a type of soot that when they're experiencing high levels of either anger or just they're extremely emotional, there's a soot that's uncleanable that sort of
until they chill out.
Yeah.
until they mellow out.
Or like forgive. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Again,
know.
dude. Look, hey. If you're looking for something visually, aesthetically pleasing, and you're particularly fond of Victorian, Gothic, even fairy tale-esque stories, and you're looking for something to maybe, turn your brain off. You just want something cute and wholesome to look at.
Oh man.
Not turn your brain off. I just mean like it doesn't require a high level of thinking, I guess. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a little mystery sprinkled in, but it's not like you actually have to be like, all up there.
Let me know, guys. I guess I'm in this alone. Let me know if you guys like it. I really do recommend.
Wait, let me finish, please.
Oh, you were still talking?
Yeah.
Oh.
And if you are looking,
Sorry, I turned off my brain for a minute.
and if you are looking for something good like that to read, then you should read Kuro. Thank you.
Absolutely. Read Kuro. That was my whole input there. Is just read Kuro.
And go check
Now,
out our
Megan, go
episode
ahead.
on it.
Maybe you should, because
Yeah.
not enough people did, in my opinion.
It's
It's
one of, I think,
fun.
still our most
not viewed
not
episodes.
viewed episodes.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's
Megan,
fun.
I really
it's
am
during
sorry.
Spooktober.
I cut you off for the bit, but it wasn't
okay.
worth it.
No,
Go
it's
ahead.
fine. No, I
This
was
is rude.
joking.
Yeah, it was just rude. I apologize.
It was fun.
It wasn't fun.
It was fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, then maybe
So
I'll do it.
you are yeah, okay.
Huh?
You were really into this series, and I don't want to take away from that. Like
Well, then, weren't you in the middle of giving your final thoughts?
Was I?
Yeah.
you were.
Oh, sorry.
So
I just didn't have that like high level thinking, I guess, just watching this series. But I did genuinely like it. Excited to see what's to come. Keep watching.
So are you going to read or watch? Because you've already read up to volume
I know. I think I'm gonna keep reading because it's like I need to know what happens after the debut. I don't know when I'm going to be able to see that in the anime. It's only 2 episodes out, so I'm not sure when that'll fall, because already it's kind of like the first episode fits in a lot, but the second episode doesn't really fit in that much. So I'm excited to see what happens.
And I think it's only going to be, I'm almost positive it's only 12 episodes in the first season. And how many chapters are released now? About, do you know?
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like it's at least 100. I want to say over 100.
Probably.
I want to say.
I don't want to say because I don't know.
Okay, how about this series felt like a shadow of Kuro.
Absolutely. Living in Kuro's shadow.
Is that the fucking thumbnail?
I mean, it's a good, yeah. It's pretty
That's
great.
not bad.
That's not bad, Megan.
That's pretty good.
No, it's pretty good.
That's not Megan.
I just don't.
And it is, because Kuro came first, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
No, I did.
It did.
Okay, then this is... Oh, absolutely. Megan, you nailed it.
Cody, you said it.
So
Did I?
Yeah. Yeah. You said it.
Then I nailed it.
Then, yeah. You nailed it.
this is a new segment on Volume 1. It's called ED
Squeaking.
Ideas.
Oh, okay.
Yee? I wrote yee, I don't know.
Is that like ED?
They're just funny
EDs?
little things I think about. Not a big deal.
Oh, I like this. I like this segment.
Shawdow? More like, Emily Ko, get the fuck out of there.
I love this segment.
Don't go chase... Oh, I was supposed to sing it. Don't go chasing shadows.
Oh. I know that song.
Soot? More like something's afoot.
That one I like. That one. Put a star next to that one.
Soot? More like weight on hand and foot.
It's the same joke, but
No.
Of those, the last one is the best.
Weight on hand and foot, like master and servant.
yeah, I think the second to last one was my personal favorite. But let us know what your favorite was in the comments down below, and let us know if you ever want to see this segment again.
What do you mean?
I'm just kidding, Megan.
It's...
I love it. I love it.
Never
What
mind.
is wrong with your
That's
face, Cody?
I just try really hard.
Megan,
Like, I try really hard.
I liked it. All right. Well, thank you guys for liking us and watching and listening and liking this video and subscribing to our channel. But I think before we get to our
Please.
our other segment, the Wonder Circle, we should probably just, I think we've said last thoughts, right? We've kind of...
we were done.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just did that.
We're done.
Okay, well, I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to give Megan one last chance, but it's done. She said
You're
it.
making me not like this series anymore.
Good.
No.
Oh, then,
Look, we've said what we've said, and it's up to you. Make your own decision. Check out Shadow's house. Read it, watch it. Let us know what you think. If you've already read or watched it, you can let us know either in the comments, or you can jump on our Discord and talk to us about it there. Maybe there's some things we're missing, or maybe you've read even farther ahead and things get crazy. But yeah, let us know what you think about the series even if you decide to read it based on our review. I think now is time for us to go to our other segment. Yes. Our very well-known segment.
Yeah.
The Wonder Circle, where we read comments left by you on our previous videos. So, Volume 1, Sean, why don't you help us out and give us a few comments?
This one comes from Will Irwin. I just like how the Bakugo character in this series is more likable than actual Bakugo in every way.
Oh, this is from
Hell's Paradise. Yeah.
Chobe.
He was
Chobe.
the Gote.
He was the
He was the Gote, Chobe.
Yeah, I had a Chobe for Chobe. Am I right?
Ooh.
Right?
No.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was really good.
Thank you.
That was really fucking good.
Yeah, I think I like him more than Bakugo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the most redeeming character in that entire series to me. My favorite character in that entire series. I would say I liked him. Maybe he's tied with Gabimaro, actually.
No, I think he's better than Gabimaro.
Volume 1, Sean, you got another comment for us?
Thank you.
This one comes from Bizarre Gold.
Love
Josh
Bizarre Gold.
gives a bad opinion on Weird Al. Everyone else dislikes that. Josh, yeah, I get what you guys mean, ... But what if I was even more wrong?
Oh, I mean, people are seeing it. We've already had multiple comments, hate comments towards Josh on his overall standing on Weird Al. And honestly, I'm fucking glad they didn't just sit back and relax and not say anything, because they felt so passionate to reach out to us to tell you that you are wrong about Weird Al. And they couldn't believe that the words were coming out of your mouth, because he is a national treasure. He's very talented. And overall, one of the best I want to say musical
Performers.
performers.
The best.
Yes.
The best.
I can ask five people on the street.
Wholeheartedly
Cut away
agree
from
with-
that fist bump.
They got it on camera.
Nah. Look,
We can do the other one.
cut away from that one.
You can't
Damn
cut
it.
away from that one.
It's even more. Just that was
And
literally
was I
in your face.
was I more wrong because I said that I like Jack Black? And was that more wrong? I don't understand what the more wrong part is.
The more
because I
wrong-
doubled down on it?
More wrong.
The more wrong is that I'm a moron? Is that what you were going to say?
Okay. You're doing it to yourself. This is good. We're
now-
getting somewhere.
And now you're being more right.
Ah.
You know I like when people put bows on things and you put a little bow on that. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Look,
I
we're
said
not
my
gonna
piece.
Yeah.
I said my fucking
And guess
piece.
what?
And the
Does
wor-
it feel good that everybody's on your side?
And just know that's
Yes,
that's
because
gonna
it's on
happen
his
more
side.
and more as the years go on. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, wow, Josh doesn't like Weird Al." That's gonna keep happening.
It's a change. It is honestly like, oh, you're like taken back a moment and you're like realizing like who you're looking at, like who the person is inside. Because if you don't like Weird Al, it just like doesn't like put off a good message.
Is this
Yeah.
payback for me not liking?
No.
No,
That's a
no.
different issue I have. This is a
This
more
is you not
personal
liking
issue.
Weird Al.
Yeah, this is a more personal issue for me. This was way before.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
you know what? And to your point, Cody, more people are going to discover that little gem. And more people are probably going to be on my side. And then we're going to have a
Absolutely
war
not.
on our hands.
Has not happened yet. We've had multiple people be
Yeah.
pro Weird Al. I haven't met a single person who is anti Weird Al.
Somebody
I haven't met that many
defend
people.
me.
You can go on Reddit and type whatever you
Yeah,
want to
go
put
on
out.
your-
I'm sure
go
there's
on
a
your little
I'm
Reddit
sure there's a
forum.
little forum about your hatred for Weird Al, fucking 3 people in it. Go ahead.
I'm not going to go on. I'm not going to do that.
Go rant about
Yeah.
how bad this musical legend is and how bad he has done, like what he's done to
Yeah.
society, and you know,
I've-
oh, God forbid anyone makes jokes about, you know, music that
That's
we
not what
listen
my
to
problem
in our
is. That's not
human
what my
ears,
problem
in our vibrations,
Good vibrations.
good vibrations.
Don't say that.
Oh.
I never want to hear
Triggering?
that again. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not gonna make my point because you can go to
Because
previous
you already
episodes.
tried to and
No,
you're wrong.
no, I
It's just I
stand
made it
by.
better.
Because
No.
Megan
I
pretty much
annihilated you.
She got me.
was just getting you like
Jab,
j-
jab,
just
jab,
and
jab,
this
in the
was,
jab.
ropes
and this was
there.
me. Tune into the video to see this. This was me.
And then Cody was the
The whole time.
girl with the sign, and he was like,
I'm all for this.
"Ooh,
Yeah.
look at
I'm not gonna
real
say.
fast."
That
I'm
is
not going to
absolutely
defend
who
myself
I am
because
in
I've
this.
said what
Yeah.
I've had to say, and you can go back and you can look at that. And please, for the love of God, somebody hop on over to Josh's side. I'll take care of you.
I'd love to see that.
Anyway, Volume 1 Chum, please give us one more comment before we get out of here, please.
This one comes from Lippy. I don't know how Josh always mentions, and that's when, and then says something that happens 3 chapters later.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
All right, what is
Another
this?
hate comment for Josh.
What is
huh?
this?
I wonder what's
Volume
going
1 Chum,
on.
pick
Oh,
better.
I know what's going on.
Volume 1 Chum, pick better
People are
comment.
seeing the light.
No,
I think that's what's happening. Ever since that Weird Al shit came out,
no.
you're
I
kind
was
of in
one
the
who put
hot
it out.
seat.
It's not like it came out. I was the one who put it out.
Yeah, and that's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not good for you. Not a good look, but
Volume 1
And
Chum,
it is
pick-
nice that no
would you ever have said it if you knew the repercussions?
Yeah, because
Now people are going back and being like, "Wow, he really does.
Yeah.
He took notes of events sequentially, beat for beat, and he still gets the order wrong."
Because I'm trying to produce a show here. Okay? Gotta be some fucking slack. Okay, I'm sorry.
And we appreciate it.
Okay, thank you guys. I just got a lot of heat in the last 10 minutes of this episode.
It wasn't the voice. It was
I don't know what it was.
the painting. It was
So like, that wasn't a joke response.
right. The real me came out. I have to say, I was genuinely confused by both of your reaction to what was happening. Oh, man.
Well, until next time.
Well, until next time, thank you for watching and listening. And thank you, of course, as always, to our lovely, beautiful, handsome, attractive, delightful Patreon members. We love each and every one of you. And one of you has to be on my side about the whole Weird Al thing. But that's neither here nor there. We just appreciate your love and support. And we appreciate everyone's love and support, no matter how you give it. Even if it's by leaving a thumbs up. Even if it's by leaving a comment. Even if it's by
disgracing Josh. We like those the most.
That's actually that's more helpful to the channel. It's free.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it. And it keeps us going. It's like buying us a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Well,
espresso.
That's it for another wonderful, amazing episode of Volume 1. Until next time, all that's left to do is get out of here on our outro that's always the same and never changes, which today is, of course, Shawdow. Oh, did you guys ever see Homeward Bound?
A long time ago.
When he's like limping over the hill, and he's like, Shawdow! Yeah. You can't really scream Shawdow at the end.
Shawdow, more like...
Mad Ho.
Mad
and it's Josh.
Ho.
I was going to say Shadow House, more like Shadow Homeless. Homeless? Fuck. It's like, sometimes it's in the like enunciation of the...
Shadow House, more like...
More like... Shadow.
God, this one's hard.
Stay in the shadows.
I love it.
Soot.
Cody, I love it. I love you. I love you.
Oh.
I'll say like that's like a 7 out of 10, but I think that's the quickest we can just move on with our lives.
Okay.
If we do that.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And until next time,
Stay in the shadows. In the shadows.
Should we ask them?
Oh, no. No.